Hey everyone, you see how I got that right? Because of all the practice I had. Today's video will make sense only to an ICSE kid because it specifically addresses the 20 mark grammar section. Usme bhi, the do as directed part. This section comes for 8 marks in your paper, and all 8 marks are easy to score because there are specific types of questions which are asked. All right. I won't be doing all of those types right now. I've people who study with me already. I've sent you a document, and in that document, I've addressed almost all types of sentences that can come. I'm only addressing those sentences which kids might have problem understanding. Starting off with the first type, no sooner and than. As soon as the lockdown ended, I danced in joy. As soon as the lockdown ended, I danced in joy. When I say as soon as the lockdown ended, I'm talking about a one time event, right? It's already ended. Okay. And I danced. When I say I danced, again, it's a one time event, right? It's not every day, it's a one time thing. So when I know some event is happening only once, the action verb in my head is did. No sooner did या फिर no sooner had. Did and had are interchangeable. Okay, so no sooner did the lockdown end, I cannot say ended because did by itself is a past tense, and after did you cannot use another past tense. So no sooner did the lockdown end than I danced in joy. The second part of the sentence stays the way it is. So if I'm originally, or if I'm reading this on paper, what I'm seeing is as soon as the lockdown ended, comma, I danced in joy. When you are using no sooner, you replace the comma with the word than. Than. Okay. When I say than, it's Than. So no sooner did the lockdown end than I danced in joy. Now, this is a one time thing. Now, why am I specifying one time constantly? Because I could also have a sentence which says, as soon as he enters the class, everyone gives him a tupply. Okay. Now, as soon as he enters the class, everyone gives him a tupply. This is an everyday thing. जब जब वो class enter करता है लोग उसको टपली मारते हैं. It's an everyday, it's a routine. So when I say a routine, I cannot use the word did, okay, because it's a routine. So what I have to say is does, because he keeps doing it every day. And I mean, the tuple keeps happening every day. So no sooner does he enter. Now, when I'm using does, I have to say enter because it's a one time thing. So no sooner does he enter the class than everyone gives him a tuple. The second part of the sentence stays the same. Everyone gives him a tuple. I danced in joy. That's the second. After the comma wala sentence stays the same. You don't have to mess around with that. Did that make sense to you? Let's try another one. As soon as I grow up, I will stop studying. Okay. Now, this is a future thing. As soon as I grow up, I have not grown up yet. So, what I have to say is no sooner will, because it's a future thing. So, no sooner will I grow up than I will stop studying. Then I will stop studying. So, the comma gets replaced, second part of the sentence stays the same. I hope that made complete sense to you guys. All right. As soon as something happens, as soon as something happened, as soon as something will happen. Okay. I also want to point out the use of had. So if you're confused, okay, sir, did ke baad pass, because this is the mistake kids make. They end up saying as no sooner did he entered, did ke baad entered dala. So if you're confused about the use of did and not using a past tense, simply use had. No sooner had he entered. Now you don't have to worry about entered. So as soon as he entered the class, everyone gave him a tuple, one time event. As soon as he entered the class, everyone gave him a tuple, one time event. No sooner had he entered the class. Now I use the word had instead of did, and I use the word entered the way it is. But if I wanted to use the word did, I would have said no sooner did he enter the class then, because did के बाद entered नहीं आ सकता है. ठीक है? I really hope this much made sense to you. Okay. While we are on no sooner, I also want to address the next topic. That's scarcely and when. It's exactly the same dynamics as no sooner and than. Just that whenever, if you replace no sooner with scarcely, you have to put in when instead of than. Everything else stays the same. All rules are the same. Okay. So let's take an example. As soon as Or you know what? Because I'm doing scarcely, I can simply use no sooner. So no sooner did it start raining, no sooner did it start raining than we took shelter, which simply means as soon as it started raining, we took shelter. So no sooner did it start raining than we took shelter. I want to use hardly. All I'll say is hardly did it start raining. I replace no sooner with hardly. Everything else stays the same. I replace than with when. Hardly did it start raining when we took shelter. Scarcely did it start raining when we took shelter. Same rules. Everything is the same. No change. In the exam, you will be asked one of these three things. They'll either ask you to use no sooner, or they'll ask you to use scarcely, or they'll ask you to use hardly. Okay? ये तीन में से कुछ भी आया, I want that 1 mark. Okay? हाँ, ये सब मेहनत हमने किया 1 mark के लिए, पर वो 1 mark मायने रखता है. वो तुम लोगों को बाद में समझ में आएगा क्यों. But वो 1 mark अपने pocket में होना चाहिए. The next thing I want to teach is the use of the word lest. Okay? To put it across very simply, the word lest means or else in your head. Okay, it's an old English word. If I don't want to use the term or else, I want to simply replace it with one word, lest. Then this is how I'll do it. I'll say study hard or else you will fail. Okay, now study hard or else the consequences will be that you will fail. So I want to replace or else. Study hard lest I replace the word or else, but the sentence construction changes. Whenever I use lest, I also want to use the word should. And should does not mean you should do this, he should have done that. ये वो वाला should नहीं है. The word should over here means might. Okay, you might fail. So might or you will or something will happen. So will might के लिए हम लोग should use कर रहे हैं. So how I say it is study hard lest you should fail. Again, I'm not saying you should fail. I'm saying that's how the word should is used. It's an old English usage. Okay. So study hard lest you should fail. Let's take another example. Wear a mask or else you won't be able to rob the bank. You thought I'm talking about COVID, no? No, but I'm talking about the bank. Anyways, wear a mask or else you won't be able to rob a bank simply becomes wear a mask lest you should not be able to rob the bank. Wear a mask lest you should not be able to rob the bank. Everything else I read in the document seems easy to understand, except for the third thing that I want to do. And it's very important for you to understand how to use this. This helps you a lot in your spoken English as well. Okay. It's the rule of inverse. Now, there's no such term in English called rule of inverse. It's something I have created. It's the easiest way for me to explain something to you. It's used when you're changing a direct speech to indirect speech, but using an interrogative verb. Okay. For example, if I say, when are you coming back? Now, this is a direct speech. I'm directly asking you, when are you coming back? But let's say you have to go and translate what I said to someone else. So what you're saying is, Sir asked me, when are you coming back? You have to convert this. So when, are becomes when was, I stays as I, coming becomes going, back stays as back. So in your head, you're saying, when are you coming back? Sir asked me, when was I going back? Which is incorrect. Okay, when you see a word like when, where, why, what, okay, that's when you remember the rule of inverse. When are you coming back simply becomes when I was going back. So it's when I was. It's a rule of inverse. Okay. So you invert the next two following words after the interrogative word. So when are you coming back does not become when was I going back. It simply becomes when I was going back. Let's take another example. Where are the cookies kept? Where are the cookies kept? Does not become where were the cookies kept. It simply becomes where the cookies were kept. So, where are the cookies kept? Sir asked me where the cookies were kept. Not Sir asked me where were the cookies kept. Let's take another example. Why is it so hot in here? Sir asked me why was it so hot in there? Is incorrect. Sir asked me why it was so hot in there. I inversed it. Why is it so hot in here? Sir asked me why it was so hot in there. Did you understand this? If not, we should have a Zoom lecture about this, okay? I know that this isn't very helpful. A, because I don't have a whiteboard, so I can't really show you things. B, you're not with me, so I don't know if you've understood it really. I will be doing this again in class, but I hope this is enough for you to at least start solving sentences. I hope today's session was slightly helpful for you guys. All right, it's not the same, when I don't have you in front of me. But take care, and I hope to see you guys soon.